Hello and welcome back to another One Piece video. So today we have the rematch between BY Luffy and Pudding. I think I got pretty much cooked last game. Not fully understanding BY just yet, but let's see if this game I'm able to pull it back and learn from my mistakes. So first turn, looks like Corporate doesn't find any searchers, so he just passes. And then for me, I decide not to play the Flampe this time around, just because with Charlotte Pudding being pretty aggressive, I know that, she's going to take the life for me. So yeah, Pudding swinging in 6 at lead, and then playing down the Viola basically tells me that he's going to swing in again, so definitely no reason for me to defend too hard just yet. But here, actually, we realized that he started with 5 life by accident, so just put that on the bottom of the deck to keep the game state going. I played down the Baby Sabo here just because I noticed that he wasn't playing any like Gadatsus or anything, and I felt safe not getting popped here, so that will definitely save me some Dawn in future turns. But he does crack in 5 at lead, and I opt to take that. And then on my 6 Dawn turn, I answer his Katakuri with my Luffy. I don't rip myself just yet. I don't want to get too low to allow him to pressure me too much. So on his 10 Dawn turn here, I do see he has a lot of big bodies to work with, a couple of Katakuris, and the 9-drop Linlin, which he uses here to gain a life, and actually putting the adult Luffy to the bottom of my deck. Definitely the right choice, but actually swinging in 5 and 7 at lead, leaving the Luffy now at the top of my life, actually was a mistake on his end, just because you want BY Luffy to not have access to his adults, and me knowing that the Luffy's there means that I can basically plan my turn around that. So I have 2 babies on board and I still have 4 Dawn to work with, so I should be able to combo pretty heavily here. So I evolve my Luffy, and then I search using the Garp. So here I'm just seeing what babies I have. I think I end up taking the Ace here, just because I do have the baby Ace in hand, but I don't have another baby Luffy in hand, so Ace is definitely the better choice here. So I put Ace on the top of my life, and I actually end up pumping to 11, it seems. Or sorry, I lied. I pump to 9, and I leave the Sabo in life, so that he has 2 options. Either try to get rid of that Sabo in life, otherwise I'm going to block her up, or he ignores it, and yeah, I just evolve for free. So I'm able to get rid of his Katakuri here, and he answers with an 11k swing into my Ace. There's absolutely no way I am defending that one. And he actually gets rid of my Luffy once again, putting it on top of life just because I do have the baby Sabo on board, so he didn't want me to be able to just Sabo for free there. So I'm deciding how I should play this. I think Gecko, definitely the best card I could play at this time, just because here, I think this is the turn that I pump to 11, just because I really want to get that Linden off the board. I don't want him to have consistent 9k swings on my leader every turn. So I'm able to pump right now, currently at 9, and then still haven't used my leader ability yet, getting out the Ace once again, and now my leader is up to 11. So I'm swinging 13 into 9 on his Linlin, If he had the counter for it too, that would be basically every card in his hand. And I just think he didn't want to commit that onto the Lin. So 7 into leader with the ace actually connects. So the Brûlé coming out of life means that we're going to have to deal with this blocker at some point. So he swings in 10 into my ace. Felt like I didn't need to respect it too much, so I didn't counter it. And then he drops another Katakuri, putting my Gecko at the bottom of my life. But with the adult Luffy on board, I don't feel too pressured right now. Him being able to rip a life for me every turn and draw just feels so good. And then dropping the Kuzan down just to get some more draws. I didn't have a real way of getting Gecko out of my life, so I decided to just break his board as much as I can here. And then I could have swung into life, but I didn't want to give him resources just because if he were to get like a 10 mom or something out of life, that would be really bad news for us. But looking back, I think we knew that the top card was a Bedge. I just at this point forgot. So he did have the 9-drop Lin anyways. And then putting my Sabo at the top of my life here. I'm actually not sure why it's at the top of my life versus the bottom. I think if it was at the bottom, my Luffy could have just ripped my Gecko and then I combo off of the Sabo there. So that was his rationale behind it. But either way, I think the outcome's the same if I had the baby Sabo or not. But a couple of swings coming my way, I was able to counter out of the Katakuri swing into my Luffy, and putting swing going into my life gets easily countered. So I answer with another Gecko, so it didn't really matter whether he put the Sabo at the top or bottom of my life. But being able to pump up to 9 and still retaining a life is just so powerful for BY Luffy. This is the spot that you want to be in. And then I do try to swing in to his Katakuri, trying to force as many cards as possible. But Kuzan swinging in at life and reducing the Katakuri by 4, and then Space Luffy popping him off the board. I think Kuzan is such a good card in this deck, just because him being able to replace himself as well just gives BY Luffy a really good mid-game option. So here he does have another 10 mom. But honestly, it doesn't look too bad for us. We have a pretty wide board and my hand still looks really healthy, so don't feel too pressured here. And I'm just trying to decide how I want to combo off here. I definitely make a misplay coming up, but not a huge one, I would say. Just because here I swung with my Gecko with 9 into his Lin to try to get a counter out of hand, and I did get a 2k counter out of hand. And then dropping the second Gecko, I ended up replacing my Gecko in Kuzan because I wanted to keep the Sabo blocker up. But looking back, honestly, I should have just attacked with Sabo since I'm getting 2 back anyways. And then here with the Sabo filtering, I just try to keep as many 2k counters as possible in my hand. And then leader getting really pumped up here. So I knew that he drew a Bedge from life, and so my blocker Sabo ended up swinging anyways, and Yeah, that was the slight misplay I was mentioning earlier. But the Lin does swing into the Sabo, which I decided not to protect. I think I had enough counter in hand to defend her, or defend him. But I just want to save that in case he had any way of cracking through. So he did have a Katakuri for my Gecko, but Luffy easily just gets him out of life here. And with only 3 cards left in his hand, honestly, I could just swing 9, 9, 10 and see how he responds. Just because I do know a Bedge is in life, and it's going to be able to stop one of my swings here. But that means that he's not going to have a 2k going to hand. So an 8k swing actually connects, stunning my leader, and so I go in for 9. With only 3 cards left in his hand, he either gives me his entire hand or just take it. But at this point, yeah, 13k swing going into leader is just way too much to counter out of. So I was able to even out the score here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.